Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's mostly a pleasure to have had the chance to listen to several of the good, interesting talks earlier today, discovering how companies and organizations were actually implementing solutions to restore forests, to preserve water, to create energy from water, even with this beautiful solution in a bubble that we've seen. Companies and organizations are working and are implementing solutions while pursuing success. And this is what I'm suggesting for now. I'm not going to make a big pitch, more of sharing a few reflections on what is success in the business world. So what is success? What is success for a company, for the leader of a company, for the manager, for you in your careers today or in your studies if you're a student? I remember very well that in my 20s I joined one of these big American firms in consulting. And as part of my welcome pack, I received a little booklet, it's like this size, and it had two words on the cover: shareholder value, and that was like the Bible. This was really at the heart of what was called success for a company at the time. That's the traditional way to measure success. Essentially about profit, and profit directed to the shareholders. I don't need a lot of figures, especially here at Planetiers, to show that this rather narrow definition of success has led to a series of undesirable consequences. You all know that we as humanity have crossed 6 of the 9 planet boundaries. We are seeing inequalities as never before, especially after COVID. Last time I looked at these statistics, I was literally horrified. 26 of the most wealthy person in the world. So it's about 2 rows here in this conference hall. Just think about that, 2 rows here. Earn just as much wealth as 3.8 billion individuals. So this is the level of inequality that we have reached today. The workforce conditions are also threatening the security and sometimes the life even of something like 30 million workers who all are today working in conditions that are close to slavery or forced labor. I'm not going to develop more your eco-anxiety, but we are reaching something that Otto Scharmer, the MIT professor, he really summarized this so well. He says, we are collectively producing results that no one individually wants. So this is where we are in our definition and in the pursuit of success in economics today. Why is this happening? Well, here I'm very much together with Sandrine Dixon de Clèves from the Club of Rome. She stresses as main factors mostly the productivity, the search for productivity in the economic world, and the over-financialization of our economy. We could add, I think, globally, the functioning of the economy in an extractive mode, whether we are extracting value from nature, extracting value from human resources, but basically very extractive and not regenerative, as opposed to regenerative use of resources, and also a focus on the short term. So this as triggers of the situation we are seeing now. But of course, it would be very simplistic to say business is bad. And we've seen today that many solutions actually come from the business who has the capital, who has the knowledge, and who has the will to expand and to succeed precisely. So we must count with business to develop the solutions. I heard that was back in May at the Be4Good Leaders Conference in Amsterdam, someone called Roger Bregman. And he reminded us, that was really an eye-opener, that a lot of the transformation of the economic world had actually come from business and not from politicians and not from intellectuals. And he was taking as an example the abolition of slavery. That was quite an eye-opener. Then also today the expectation from the business are shifting. More than 80% of the people that were interviewed by the Elderman report, that's an inquiry on trust, and they produce a very interesting trust index. More than 80% are expecting companies to step into the political scene or the societal scene to help solving the problems that we are meeting today. So the role of business and the role of companies is shifting, and that's a demand. In the same survey, 68% of the people are expecting CEOs to step in when the governments are failing to fix the societal issues. So role of the business, a different place. There is today a different place for business. And we see that sustainability, I mean, even John Elkington, who was here in July, he said that he remembers how in his early years he had to explain what sustainability, even the word, means. Like people could hardly pronounce it. Now it's pretty obvious what it is, and we see that it is more and more embedded in the strategy of companies today. And I love what Céline Dio said. She's the CEO of Bell, you know, the cheese Bell, and she says, "I'm not doing ESG, I'm creating value." And this is what it happens when a company really embeds the full and embraces the full definition of sustainability and responsibility in its strategy. And this is exactly what B Corps, the companies who are certified by the B Corp movement, demonstrate. And I would like to share a few examples from this world. So first, maybe just remember that the B Corp movement was created almost 20 years ago in the United States by 3 friends and entrepreneurs who had created a business with very high social and environmental standards, and they wanted to find a way for this to last. And to do this, they created standards that then it became a certification for companies. And today there are more than 9,000 companies that are certified by according to these standards. What is at the heart of the B Corp belief and definition of success? Because this is our topic for tonight. First, the fact that business can be a force for good. Second, the fact that business must benefit all. So it's not about the little booklet that I received some years ago about shareholder value. It's about benefiting all. And this is actually what this B of B Corp stands for. It's benefit for all. So benefit all stakeholders, shareholders, obviously, and there's absolutely no contradiction in this, but also the workers, also the environment, also the communities that a company is working with. So this notion of benefit all is really at the heart of the definition of success in the B Corp world. There are some very important principles as well. Transparency, so B Corps commit to measure their positive impact and communicate on their impact openly. Interdependency as well. The issues today are way too complicated to be solved by just one player. So, and we've seen here several times in this panel, people saying, well, we need to collaborate because, yes, it is way too complex. Of course, there are rules for competition, but sometimes collaboration must prevail over competition. And progress. The B Corps commit to constant progress and to improve their impact after one cycle of certification after the other. The certification lasts for 3 years, and we see the B Corps progressing. I'm sure you know B Corps. First of all, there are some here. Stone Soup, who is a partner of Planetiers. You know Patagonia, which was one of the really early joiners of the movement. A company like Danone also was the first, international, worldwide company to put the B Corp's principle at the heart of their strategy and to apply it to almost now 100% of their business. This is their objective, actually, in all countries. Companies like WeTransfer or like The Guardian, the newspaper, Too Good To Go, fighting food waste. So you might recognize something in common between these companies, which is the purpose. So the purpose is really key in this approach and in this definition of success. I'll be successful if I manage to create a positive impact on my various stakeholders. This is what is at the heart of the B Corp's way of making business. Is this an utopia? So that might be a question that you have. How do they demonstrate it? Well, you might see some successful B Corps here in Portugal. For the one, especially in this northern region, Symington, Aveleda, quite a few companies in the shoe industry, in the textile industry. And what do we observe? This is numbers that we collect from one cycle of certification to the others in Europe. What do we see? We see that on a few metrics, B Corps are doing well. So between one certification to the other, they are gaining 90% revenue, so 90% revenue growth, plus 12% staff, so teams growing and being more engaged at the same time, plus 8%. And so this qualifies as a definition of success. Again, there is no contradiction. One of the most interesting indicators maybe is that because of customer loyalty, because of talent attraction and retention, because of collaborations, because of working differently with all their value chain, their supplier, their clients, companies, B Corps, are becoming more robust. And this is something that we observe namely after the COVID episode, when comparing same comparable companies, we discovered that 95% of the B Corps were still up and running, while on other companies not certified were only 88%. So it builds and it strengthens, okay, the success and cements the success of these companies. So what we see here is that different maybe elements from shareholder value can definitely enter in the definition of success. That it benefits success. It's not an utopia. Of course, it's not companies who do that. It's human in companies. I think China once appointed an AI CEO. I'm not sure it's still running. That's a very interesting test actually. But so far it's mostly human who are running companies. And of course, as Andrew Cassoy, who is one of the founders of the B Corp movement, reminds us always, it's that it takes some moral courage. So beyond imagination, dedication, what we need also is moral courage. Thank you very much.